So, hello and welcome to the next chess video of mine. This time I show you the game between Jonny 4.00 versus Houdini 6.02, and I let them play the exchange Rui, which arises after those moves I just show you. And we have the first move calculated by Jonny 4.00 with white, and it plays the move knight to c3. Now it's Houdini's move. Let's see what should Houdini play there and why. Houdini is calculating the move f6 followed by d4, e takes d4, queen takes d4, queen takes d4, knight takes d4. This is Houdini's line. Let's see if we see something like this. Probably the king can step to the square f6, the bishop, I don't know where the bishop belongs, to d7, and the rook here to the d file, and the other rook here probably to the e file, and black shouldn't have any problems. So I prefer for white, well, when I face this position my opponents most often castle, and I play the move bishop to g4, and after h3 I play the move h5. I had a game there where my opponent took, played the knight back, and I played my queen there immediately, and with the rook and queen on this file this is pretty deadly. But in this game we have something else. We have the move f knight c3 and f6. Let's see. Both engines think that d3 is now a good move. Probably to put the bishop on e3 to castle and have a good game there. Also castling is possible because now bishop to g4, if you castle here, bishop g4, h3, h5 doesn't work here because the queen cannot go to h4 here because the pawn is in the way. So also castling is possible, but we have the move d3 here in that position by Jonny. And let's see. Bishop somewhere, probably here, the knight comes here and then castling. This is what I would suggest. And also the bishop pin at some point here, although after h3, not h3, but let's go with bishop g4 immediately. h3, bishop h5, castles. You don't really want to play g4, but yeah, okay, you have to you face this pin, which is not that great. Also, I think this knight is misplaced in this variation, so bishop g4 might be a good move. Let's follow this through. Maybe even, yeah, well, g4. Knight here. Maybe the knight will hop in there, and maybe there's something like this is possible. You cannot go h4 here because the bishop would hang. And yeah, castling or bringing the bishop out, queen here, queen to d2 or e2, and castling queenside could be possible for white. But we have the move bishop to d6 here by Houdini. Bishop to d6. Let's see what Jonny comes up with. Let's go with castling there. But then you may have to face something like bishop to bishop to here, let's say, h3, bishop there. Now g4 is not that great because the king is on the king side. So let's say bishop somewhere, queen there, castling queenside and start a pawn storm. So I don't know about this. So let's say bishop to e3, followed by bishop to g4, something like this, maybe even g5 here, and going queenside. Maybe both sides can go queenside. Black's king would be very safe here on the queen side because of this pawn mass here. But let's see. Okay, we have the move d3 to d4 now by Jonny. After d3, bishop to d6, we have the move d4. Okay, now the queen is blocked here. So let's say, don't know, 97. Let's say you take this, then queen takes most probably, because the queen is defended and there are also no real discoveries. So let's say queen takes is possible, and this position looks not so bad here. Maybe with e5 coming, or bishop here castling, put a rook on the d file. So this might not be that bad for white. Knight e7, let's say, takes, pawn takes, of course. Now knight here, going in with a queen check, going in there. Maybe also g4 is an option, but let's say white just castles, black also castles. This bishop looks a little bit weird there. This pawn is controlling the d4 square, also the knight is controlling this square, so there is no queen check. Okay, we have the move knight e7, but probably not knight h4, so let's go with bishop g4. This looks more sensible, pinning the knight. And well, let's say castles, and queen here to unpin. Let's say maybe knight here to here. The other knight comes in there, and then both knights are looking on this juicy f5 square. But it's quite a long time. In the meanwhile, white can pin this knight. Okay, h3, g4, no h3. I don't know, maybe even pinning immediately, because now the threat is bishop takes or rook takes. Probably bishop takes and ruin the pawn structure around black's king, so white's king, so probably castling in that position is not on. After bishop g5, castles, probably h3 to avoid any bishop g4 ideas, and then the game can continue. Yeah, we have this move bishop g4, g5. h6 or castling. I would go for castling because this bishop, yeah, it's a pin, but it's not so terrible for black. Black can go now here, I think, on this diagonal. Let's see, castling now. Queen here. Put a rook there, and black's position looks pretty harmonious. I have to say, there are maybe some sacrifices possible. h6 can be played at any time. Let's say queen e2 to preempt this one, and go rook to the d file. Then h6. you don't want to give up this. I don't know. If you go here, then maybe g5, bishop there, knight here, and this knight has a beautiful square right here. Maybe then king there and put a rook on this g file. After the bishop takes a knight, pawn takes, and then you have pressure on black's king. So maybe some extreme measures are possible here. I quite like black's position already, I have to say. Okay, we don't have castles. After castles we have queen e2. Wait, queen e2. But now we'll go bishop g4. Okay, now bishop g4 doesn't achieve that much, because after h3, if you take here, then you open up the rook's file towards black's king, and white wants to go queenside, so bishop g4 doesn't look that appealing. Also after bishop g4, h3, if the bishop turns back, then you can haunt him and start a pawn storm on the king side. So okay, probably not this. Okay, we have the move h6. Let's say bishop h4, because you don't want to give up the bishop for that knight. Then bishop here, most probably. Castles and queen there. Put a rook on the d file. It's a very interesting game. Opposite side castles. And yeah, queen here. Let's say you go there to pressurize this d pawn with the knight and the bishop, and only the bishop is defending it, so you kind of have to defend it either by playing knight to g6 or by playing queen to h5. Probably knight here is better. Jump in to this square. So now this pawn is defended twice, and this square is very juicy. Okay, what to do with this knight as white, because it's controlled by that pawn. Okay, we don't have bishop h4 with bishop e3. Now what to do? Knight g6 anyway to go on this square. Let's say castles. Knight here takes, rook takes, g3. G3 is very weakening though, because now bishop can come in here, so you have to stop this, or you have to move the knight, say to here. That can come in there. Also f4 is an option. Then you have to worry. G5 is very strange. The knight can jump in here also, attacking the rook. But where does the knight go after rook to f6? Okay, the knight seems trapped. But okay, you have some ideas of opening up everything. f5, sacrificing stuff, and now black's king is very open, so this could be an option. But it seems wrong. A piece is a piece after all. But you have to do something against bishop g4. Maybe rerouting the knight that way to come in here to harass the bishop. And yeah, but if you go there, then maybe b5, stopping any knight to here ideas. Also b4 is an idea, and you start a pawn storm on the king, on the queen side. So let's say rook there, because you want to push f4 at some point. Well, the bishop is also eyeing this square and also the rook, so this might not be on. Let's say Knight g6, castles, knight there, attacking the queen, bishop takes, rook takes, g3 looks all pretty normal. Bishop here. You could also go knight there to pressurize this pawn, also be able to jump in here because the bishop is still pinned. Also, when the knight is landing here on this e3 square, it supports any f4 push. So let's go there. We have to move knight g6. Now you can insert the check. But okay, white can block this with the queen or can go king to g1. So this doesn't really seem to be good. So let's say queen there. So that knight to this square is not possible because it's no pin anymore. But you constantly have to worry about this check. So okay, this check is on. Knight here, maybe even queen check immediately. King here. Now h4, threatening knight there. So let's say if black does nothing, knight here would be very good. Threatens this check here, and if you take it, then this leads to checkmate because the queen is covering this square and the rook is covering the entire h-file. So probably something like this could be on. But okay, after knight g6 we have the move knight d2. Okay. The knight here, you can probably go queen here, check. Anyway, push h3, g3, and yeah, then then you have this bishop here in between move, because the knight is covering the bishop, and then the knight can hover back here or hover back there. So see, also after this check you can go there immediately, and now the queen seems to be trapped, isn't it? This squares are covered, this squares are covered. No, queen has one square, but there it's not that good. So probably after this you have to snap it off. And then let's say queen or pawn takes. Okay, rook or pawn takes. I don't know. Knight will come in here to attack the bishop. So you can insert this, then rook back, and knight comes in here where it is a good square, then maybe castling queenside. So probably you have to do something against this immediately. Knight d2. So let's say b5. Stopping any knight to c4 ideas, also any queen c4 check ideas. So this could be a good move. Also probably white is gonna go queenside, so you have this option of pushing your pawns there. So b5 is maybe a good move. But what comes next? Maybe queen here, also an idea. This is, I just saw that Houdini is calculating, Houdini 6.02 is calculating queen f6. Houdini is down on 5 minutes 43. I let them play without book, I have to say, like always. So queen f6, g3, b5, f3. I don't know, looks pretty equal. Let's see both evaluations right around here. Houdini thinks black is a little bit better, also Jonny thinks black is a little bit better, but nothing to write home about. And we have indeed the move queen to f6. So now let's see, Jonny is calculating g3 to stop any knight jumping in there. So let's say g3, bishop bishop here, but the bishop wants to be there, maybe. Okay, also b5 still is an option. Stop any queen check, but or knight here. But okay, g3. Bishop there also stops this queen check, but then the knight can come in here. So you probably wanna control this and keep the bishop pair, be able to go bishop e6 next and rook to the d file. So let's say white castles, bishop here, maybe threatening g5 and taking there. So let's say white does this and that move. Okay, you can go there. Because if you go there, then this might even be on. After this, h3, there, takes, double check, and then you can maybe haunt the king a little bit there. This might be an option, but you can stop this by playing, not this of course, this loses a knight, playing knight here, and after this now you don't have the option of pushing the pawns because the knight is there and now the bishop is trapped. So this is probably not on. So let's say f5, f4. See, black starts to push. f4, you take, pawn takes, knight takes, bishop takes, bishop takes, and now this bishop is pinned. Well, it can take the knight with check, so let's say you go there. I don't know, white is up a pawn. Doesn't seem as though as it is working, this f4 idea. So maybe h4 there. We have to move b5, h4, play h5, kick the knight, and then play the rook to the f file and push f4. We have this move, and now we have to move castles. A very interesting game. Let's see what to do after castles. There are also other options like a5, play maybe h4, h3, a3 to install a form pawn. Also after, if you don't stop this, if you play something like h4 here, you can get something like this, maybe pawn here, kicking the knight, and then you can go here immediately or there. I don't know, seems like black is faster here. We have to move a4, a5, a5, let's say. Okay, we have to move a4, radical measures. I would just take this to open up the b file for the rook. Knight cannot come here or here, but it defends this pawn very well. So let's say Let's see, black goes there, attacks the queen. So where does the queen move? Cannot move on this diagonal. It could move there or there, but this kind of doesn't make much sense. Well, probably here makes sense. Bishop is still covering this f-pawn. Also, if the queen moves somewhere away from protecting the knight, then the knight falls, and still f4 could be an option. Okay, we have a move here. We have the move bishop a6 immediately, threatening b4, which would attack the knight and the queen, so either the knight has to move now or the queen. Queen g4 most probably. Now pushing the knight here, so I would still take this after knight takes. Let's say you go there, try, no, not here, this loses the queen. So let's say you go there, trying to come in here. Also the knight can hovel back. I don't know, maybe you can come in here immediately, because the knight, you cannot take the knight because this is checkmate. So here, this is now a terrible threat. So let's say the knight hovers there, rook there, so queen takes, you can take this knight. Yeah, well, okay, this is a threat, but let's say you go there, threatening checkmate again. So probably that move. I don't know, also this knight is hanging, so, but we have to move b4. Kicking the knight. Okay, where does the knight go? Knight e2 most probably. G6. G6 or c4, c5, c3. You have to do something with this knight. This g3 move was a good move, I think, because this knight is... Oh, we don't have queen g4, we had the move queen bishop a6, we had the move queen h5, b4, and this move. Yeah, where does this knight go? And let's see both evaluations right now. Minus 0.84 and 0.15, so black should be a little bit better. We don't have this. That's interesting. If the move knight to b1. Okay, c4, c5. This bishop is very good here on this diagonal. This bishop is also great, I think. But this knight is bad, so either you sacrifice it at some point or you move it. But where to? Yeah, here now you have a square for the knight, jumping into d4. So probably this c5 is preparing c4 and some pawn push here or there. But also this knight maneuver to here, not to there, of course, to there. Yeah, I like black's position here. This knight back is not so great, I think. Okay, we have this move. Probably going in there. This is the idea. Knight c5. Threatening this fork. also the bishop. I don't know if you want to really snap it off. This would attack the rook. Let's say the rook goes there. Oh. We have a greedy move. Knight takes on a4. Queen there. Maybe trying to push c5, but then that move. Or maybe trying to go b4. So let's see what white comes up with. Houdini is very confident in his position. Right here, yeah, these pawns, they look very good attacking position. What to do here? Rook he1, centralizing. Looks very nice here. But what does the rook on e1 really do? Maybe f4 at some point. No, don't think f4 is a good move. So let's say you push this one. You don't really want to open things up, because now you, I don't know, attack, no, not attack the queen. Put it that, now you have only to remove the bishop, this knight I mean, and then give a check right here and mate the king. Although knight can come in there to block everything, and now the queen cannot go there because of the rook. Okay, wow, we have a move there. We have the move b3. I would just take this, of course. c3 also looks interesting. So now this knight is completely trapped. All the squares are covered. Also, this knight might be in danger. Yeah, but bishop there doesn't work. The queen is on this square. And how to come to the king? It's not so clear. Bishop back, knight hovels in there. Not so clear. Not so clear closing up the position. But installing a form pawn. So, what's the idea? Kind of have to remove this knight at some point. But how to do this? Maybe by pushing c5 and bishop there to attack the knight, and then you can. So, what is white doing? So let's say you go there to e1. Let's say c3 to go there to attack the knight. What's white's plan actually? Probably you stop this, but then the rook can come in here, or this rook probably. I don't know if you go there with the rook. If you go there with the rook, attacking the bishop, bishop moves back, bishop there attacking the knight. I don't know which rook to take. The point is you really want to remove this knight there. Oh, let's say you go there with the rook. Okay, the bishop goes back. Now you attack this knight. Knight goes here. Takes. Now this pawn is under threat. Yeah, probably this was the right rook to take, because now also this is an option. which is a terrible threat of mating. When this pawn lands there, this knight is still controlled. So, okay, this knight is dead. And it's equal on pawns now. And if you take here, let's say, if you are greedy, threatening mate, then this is checkmate. So, and if you take this, then probably rook takes, pawn takes there, rook takes there. If you take, then check, and it doesn't really matter where to go. This is mate. So if you go there, then you check the king. King goes there. Check the king again. But you have to do something about this mate at some point. King there, so rook takes, king c2. Probably queen there is better. Okay, let's say you don't take. Let's say you go there. Rook here check, only square. Bishop there, and this is mate. So okay, if you take the pawn and bishop here check, rook there check, bishop there check, and it's basically the same thing. So this is an option to sacrifice the knight there, but we don't have this. c3 move, c6 move. We have the move bishop back. Now what's the idea? You can also go bishop there maybe. If you take the knight, and you have the open file for the rook. Could be an option. But what does this move do? Okay, it vacates this file for the queen. We have the move f3 now. And now c5. Okay. Okay, now queen here or bishop there can come. c5 was the idea. Rook d5, queen b6, c5, queen b6. f3, c5 we have. Rook d5 is now calculated. Rook d5, queen here. Okay, attacking the knight. Also defending this pawn right here. This pawn is still defended by the knight. Okay, let's say you move the knight, then takes, pawn takes, and b3 takes, queen takes, threatening check, but not mate because the rook and the bishop are covering this square, and also the knight is hanging, so b3 might not be on. You have to do something with this knight, but now either you have to sacrifice it, as I said before, or okay, we don't have rook d5. We have the move queen here, but the queen wants to go there anyway, attacking the knight. But okay, you can just leave it that way, because this knight will also hang. Well, let's say you go rook d5 now. Takes. This doesn't work because the pawn is pinned. What to do now? Rook here, attacking the queen, maybe. Attacking the queen. Where is the queen going? Probably goes back. So now this pawn is hanging. Do you care about that pawn? Probably not. Well, I don't know. You somehow want to go back with the queen there, I think. Be able to push c5. Also now this pawn is defended. Bishop here, bishop there. Let's say to defend. Oh no, you don't. Yeah, you defend against the mate. Now the bishop goes there, attacking the rook. Let's say rook here. f5, c5. Doesn't matter. Can you allow taking this? Yeah, it's probably better than allow taking here than to take this pawn. Queen b6, knight c4, rook d5 now. Interesting position here. Let's see both evaluations. Houdini thinks black is winning. Also Jonny 4 thinks black is much better. We have to move rook d5 here. Let's say if I had this on my radar. Yeah, rook d5, queen takes. Rook f6 is better, I think, because now the knight is really hanging and you really want to take that weight so you can push this pawn and take that pawn. So this is probably good. And this also, the knight is now defended. Yeah, this looks absolutely lost. This pawn is falling, b6 is coming, b3 is coming. This is absolutely dead. Rook f6. Now you have to play knight c4 and then bishop c4, rook a4. Rook takes a4. Yeah, probably or here or there, even to one of those squares. Also b3. Queen here might be an idea, or queen there probably even better. Queen there to go rook here and queen check. Yeah, this is dead. So let's follow this through. Let's say you go there, rook here, you snap off the knight, then check. You cannot take, the knight is pinned. Rook takes. I don't know, maybe you screwed the attack that way because the king ran. Okay, knight c4, bishop takes c4, most probably b takes c4. How to execute this? It's not so clear how to execute this now. Yeah, bishop takes c4 is kind of normal. B takes c4 and then rook takes a4. Black got the pawn back with a very strong attack. Let's see how Jonny will defend this. C takes, rook takes a4, rook takes a4, h4, queen there, h3. Okay, let's say you save the knight because yeah, there is why give up anything? The attack still continues. But the king has some escape routes. But okay, you kind of threaten to win the knight now with rook here, queen there, and winning the knight, and I don't see how to defend against this. Rook there attacking the knight is coming. The knight doesn't have any squares. This is all covered. So yeah, knight of 8. Queen c8 check is now what the mighty Jonny thinks. Queen c8 check. Okay, you lose that pawn, probably. Queen c8 check. What to do? King there. Bishop takes. Bishop takes. Queen takes. There, still threatening to win the knight. Very interesting. Also, rook here might be an option. Followed by knight there to attack the rook, and yeah, but okay, the knight is still covering this pawn. Let's say you go there. You really want to exchange queens. Now there, you really don't want to allow to exchange queens. Rook there, then this pawn falls. So it's still interesting. Still interesting after Queen c8 check. Yeah, probably rook there. Counter attack. Takes. Doesn't seem good. So you cannot allow this. Rook f8. Now bishop takes. Let's say you just go there with the queen. Now the queen is still under attack. So where to go? Cannot stay on this file here, on this line there. So cannot go up here. Okay, you don't go there. Sorry, you go there. But now you can take here. It's covered attack. Still close. Okay, rook there. Bishop takes c5. This is good defensive strategy to be offensive. Let's see. Rook here, bishop takes c5. Let's see both evaluations. It's close, minus 7.69 and minus 2.03. See that this is close. Bishop takes c5, queen f6 now. Okay. Queen is under attack, but you still have this in between move. Okay, but this doesn't seem so great. Queen there. I don't know, bishop here. Queen f6. You can always attack the queen. That's the problem with the bishop. But okay. Let's say queen f6. Bishop takes there. Queen takes there. What's the threat? What's the threat? Rook to e1 is covering this square, but this might... Then the rook goes there, but then queen here check. Followed by rook there check. I don't know if this works, but it's interesting. It's very interesting how Jonny is defending this. But I think Houdini will come through after all. So, okay, we have the move bishop takes c4. Rook f8 and bishop takes c4. attacking the queen. Where is the queen going? Houdini is down on 2 minutes 55, as you see there. But is it crushing this position? Is it really crushing? Both engines think it's better for black, but let's see. We have to move queen f6 here. We have to move queen f6 and bishop takes there. Okay, knight takes forks, rook and queen. Okay, but let's say you go there, attacking the rook. Okay, Jonny doesn't do that. This is something very interesting, but I will check. Now we have to move rook there, pinning the knight. Yeah, I think it's over now. Let's see the finish, how Houdini will finish this. I'm smoking a cigarette if you're wondering. Is there a mate? Let's see both evaluations again. -15, -11. So both engines are thinking it's lost. Now for white. Rook b5. Queen d6 probably. Threatening mate on d2. So we have that moves here. Rook there, queen there, and rook back. But now you can go on the h file, on the a file. Or knight takes d5, even easier. Just take the rook. Now e4 takes. Doesn't really matter with what you take. Now queen there. Is there a mate? Let's again see. Mate in 13, mate in 12 announced. So it's over. It's over. If the engine says it's mate, then it's probably really mate. Okay, now Jonny resigned the game. I have a couple of questions about this game now. So let's see. Let's ask Houdini a few questions. Why he did what he did. This is all theory here. d4, a new move. After d4, black is better. But okay, we have takes, bishop here. This bishop there. Takes a pawn. Okay, very greedy, this engine. Why not going? The first question I want to ask Houdini is, what has he planned about queen to d7 attacking the rook? New variation. Then we would have rook e1. Still the rook is attacked. So let's say you move it to where actually? Say you move it there to attack this pawn. Then queen g5 check. Rook takes g5, threatening discovery. Pawn takes. Queen takes f4 check. Okay, I see. Rook here. Now everything breaks. And this is mate because the knight is covering those squares. Very nice rook sacrifice there in this line. So this doesn't work. So okay, we have to move queen g4. Rook there, rook there. Okay, the threat is checkmate. Let's say you attack the queen. New variation. Okay, then rook takes b1 followed by queen takes there, and this is also mate. Okay, so the rook has to cover, and now this is over. Queen c5, and Jonny resigned the game. Okay, thanks for watching and see you next time. Ciao.